Midway Radio is back on the air after a little hiatus last week, a little Labor Day weekend. We're back, and our guest tonight is one of, Risky, would you say one of or the hardest working members of the Chicago hip hop community?
No, we could double him the hardest working.
This guy.
All right, this guy's gonna start with pissing people off. I see.
This guy's been doing it for a long time. Visual. What's
yo?
Yeah, and I mean he's done it all. Community organizer, artist, rapper,
mentor.
Mentor, teaching the kids. So yeah, he's hardworking. He show improves. That whole family does.
We're pretty hard workers. I would say so.
part of a little Chicago hip hop royalty. Is that what we want to kind of say?
I'll claim that.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight.
No doubt, man. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so this is good. Before we get into everything that's going on with you, I want to give everybody a quick little update as far as what's going on with Midway. We went for those of you that have been watching us on social media and everything. We actually got back into to interviews this past week, and we just had 2 interviews last week. Risky, you want to talk about who we talked to?
Well, we talked to IZQ. IZQ is a member of, was a member of both Chirac Nation and Zulu Nation. Long-time Chicago hip hop member, and we also talked to Knowledge, who is
I didn't know if I should prompt you or not, but
no. I just there's a lot to say about that guy. He's done a real lot. I mean, he's been around for a while now. It's funny because I guess maybe because of my age, I think of him as, the younger generation, and he is technically, but not anymore. I mean, the Kids in the Hall were now it's 16 years or something they've been around, and he himself, outside of the music, has, much like Visual, has been a big educator, and it continues to do that, and is a very important person to Chicago hip hop.
No doubt. So yeah, so we got back to some interviews, and a lot of people have been sharing and commenting on our new merchandise shop. So thank you for those of you who have made some orders thus far. You can go to, well, as Risky is showing us right now. Yeah.
The sweatshirt. There we go. With the classic logo.
I got the classic Midway T-shirt on.
Oh, nice! Yeah, you got one?
I did. I'm the director. I gotta have a T-shirt.
Nice. Did I get mine in?
Yeah,
you did.
Oh, nice. You're probably wearing mine.
No, I'm wearing mine. But no, a lot of people have been asking us for a while about if we plan
on doing shirt, but we'll go ahead and just skip that part.
Yeah, let's skip that part.
Steal my shirt.
No,
I want my goddamn shirt.
You'll get it. You just have to be patient. No, so a lot of people have been asking if we were going to do any merchandise, shirts or anything like that. And we had plans for a long time. We just were, just takes a while to get a lot of things done, especially with a small team. So we finally got a bunch of designs up. I don't know. There's 8 or 10 maybe different things up there. So, and we're going to be adding more constantly too as we go on with everything. So yeah, check that out if you want to. That's midwaydoc.threadless.com. And you can also get to that by going to our website, midwaydocumentary.com, and slash support. Click on support there.
The designs are cool. Sean did one. I want to talk about the designs a little bit. Sean did a graffiti version of the logo, which he claims isn't him with the character in it, but I state it is him. And then
self-promo in there?
What's that?
He's trying to get some self-promo in there?
I mean, it's a dope logo, but I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, you look good there. And he's like, oh, that ain't me. I'm like, fuck, it ain't you. It's you. And then we have these new Element shirts. So we're going to do them for as many people as we can. And it looks like an element from the element table.
The periodic table of elements.
The periodic table of elements, yes. I think we have the Jesse De La Pena one up and the
Mass Hysteria.
Yes, the Mass Hysteria one.
Yeah, and we'll be putting up a few more this week. So for everybody who, because we've had a few people that are questioning or had some questions on those in particular. So right now we're doing individual shirts with artists on them and different people in the hip hop community. Eventually we're going to be doing table shirts. As you might imagine with something like that, it's leading towards that, but we want to wait until we get a little bit farther down the road. And so we're not missing anybody and that kind of stuff. So those are coming. And
yeah, we have to make sure that, we go through and get permission from each person that we do anything with. So to make sure that, everything is out there and the people that are going to be represented on there are, a part of it or, giving us permission to use, their name or whatever, whatnot. So it's going to take a while to go through and get everybody up as soon as possible.
Yes. Yeah, very, very well said. I got no more to add to that. So check out the site, check it out periodically. Like I said, we'll be adding more things to it. Pretty much every week we're going to be adding some more stuff to it. And of course, any money that's made off of that goes directly to helping fund the production of Midway.
It's all go. Yeah, it's all we need money to continue doing this, and all the funds are 100% going to us continuing to make this film.
Yeah, and there's cost for everything. So Threadless has to take their money that it was cost to produce all this stuff, and then the little bit that we get on the back end goes to help us pay for gas and for parking. Anybody who lives in Chicago knows how much that can add up. So, so that kind of stuff. And, any little bit helps. And then, of course, we also have our Patreon campaign, which you can contribute there by going to Patreon. That's patreon.com/midwaydoc. And basically what that is like a subscription service that you can get to access exclusive content from Midway. So for as little as like $3 a month, you can get access to certain things. And there's a package for $3 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. You get access to things like, like blogs that we're only writing for Patreon, video blogs, exclusive cuts from interviews, things like that. So trying to do anything that we can to help us continue to make this, because we've been working on this thing for almost 4 years now, paying everything out of pocket, and it adds up quickly.
Yep.
So that being said, our guest tonight, Visual, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm really good, man. Feeling good.
So you're actually one of our first interviews. I want to say top 10 or so people that we brought in for the film. I know Risky and I both know you for a little while. When not to make it all about Midway, although this is Midway Radio. What since you were so early on before, because now we're definitely getting to people who are like, when are you gonna get to me, or when that kind of stuff, which is cool that we got that kind of buzz out there. But when we talked to you about it, I don't even think we were on social media or anything yet. We were still just kind of compiling some interviews and stuff. So when we approached you about what we were doing and everything like that, like kind of what was your thoughts maybe about like what we were trying to do at that time, and how do you see it progress to where it is now from when you interviewed? Because as I said, you were one of the first, so that's going on 3 years now.
Yeah. I thought it was really dope when you guys first approached me about it, man. I was like, that's dope. These guys are doing it. A couple casts that I know that been around and are outsiders trying to come in and I don't know, exploit or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that honestly, when I hear about things like this, that always, something that pops in my head right away, like, all right, who's doing it? Like, who's involved? I'm definitely the type of person that makes calls, sends out emails, sends out messages to people that I don't recognize doing things and finding out who they are and what they're about and why they're doing it. So when I knew it was you guys doing it, I was like, okay, these guys are legit, it's official. And I was excited to be part of it. And from then until now, I like the growth I've seen with the reviews. realistically, I personally feel there's still some stuff missing. I forget all of it though. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty impossible. There's probably
Sure.
100 artists that aren't gonna make it that should, or 100 producers that aren't gonna make it that should, or maybe someone that I think is more important than you guys may think. I think it's though, man. But when you got a group of people that are doing it, you can't get every single angle that is expected from everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I would say, I think that might be a problem you guys are facing. I'm not sure if you guys are, but I'm almost 100% sure you are, especially being from Chicago. You got somebody that's saying, why am I not included? And I've actually, I've had people ask me like why they're not included. You know what I'm saying? So when it gets that real, I know it's real when I'm like, man, I got nothing to do with this, bro. Like I got zero to do with this.
For sure.
You know what?
But I dig it, man. I dig it. I dig what's going on. I'd love to hear what you guys think from that, though, man. I'm interested in your.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
I know
Ryan,
that's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and believe me, I think I can speak for both Risky and I, and everybody else who's on the team who's not here tonight. That it is a lot of pressure, and we don't take it lightly. We're trying to do the best that we can. All we gotta. We just keep reminding everybody that we're still interviewing, we're still putting everything together. Realistically, no, you're not going to be able to put 300 people into a documentary. That's why we're doing the archive. That's why the archive is also so important. Everybody's going to be on there that we interview. So everybody's going to have a place in the project as a whole. And, we've like I said, we're closing in December. It'll be 4 years, late December. It'll be 4 years since I first started outlining everything. And
wow.
Which I have to say, I think we're ahead of schedule because, in a sense, and I know that seems crazy when people hear that, but what do we discuss and what do we learn about documentaries, Ryan, as far as the timetable? Like, that is what they typically say that a average size documentary takes how long?
I mean, the typical documentary takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years from conception to completion, and we're going to be right around that mark. So,
yeah, but I'm saying we're way past typical. We are doing the amount of information we've already gotten is the amount of information 5 documentary people would get.
Yeah,
we got 5 films, 10 films worth of stuff in less time than some people take to do a regular hour-and-a-half documentary.
Yeah, documentary.
And I'm not stroking our own shit. I'm just stating that.
No, I think you're just stating the size of the project. I mean,
yeah, and we've gotten a lot. I mean, we've got 10 interviews now?
211, I think.
211 and over 300 people interviewed and I'm just, again, I'm not stroking our shit, but I'm impressed with what we did in the time so far, and we still got a little ways to go.
But to go back to visuals, kind of original question, what we were talking about, like, dude, if you or anybody who's listening or watching, if they have anybody out there that's like, why haven't they talked to me? Why haven't this kind of stuff? Like, please feel free to share information with that and reach out to us, because there's some people, one, I always want to stress that we're not interviewing anybody in any particular order. It's not like we lined up everybody and said, this is the most important person, and now we're going down the list. We're, interviews, they come when they come. It could, there's a variety of reasons why we interview anybody over another person, but it's definitely not because of importance or because of anything like that. I definitely want to stress that. And 2, if for as many people as Risky and myself and Kevin Beecham and Sean Doe know, which I think a lot of people know is a lot, our reach is pretty strong. There's still a lot of people that we don't know personally, maybe not have the contact info or anything like that. So that's why it's very important for people to help share and, and come to us. I'd much rather have you come to us and say, yo, such and such hit me up here and was wondering why I wasn't in it. It could be something like, oh shit, we don't, I'm never, as much as I consider myself a historian, I'm an historian for myself. As much information as I think I know, I still, there's still so much to learn. I've learned so much on this film, ridiculously. And there's so many little pockets of things and people that you don't maybe never even heard of, or you heard their music and don't know who they are, or you just, I'm sure there's probably some people on your list, Viz, that we've actually reached out to or that are on our list
that will be coming, because we still have a pretty extensive list that we're finishing. But please, yeah, absolutely. If there's people that you, and that's the thing. Also, we have to also have a filter and not have every kid who recorded a fucking verse in their basement.
You know what? And to cut you, I don't want to cut you off, but man, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's definitely something that's been on the back of my head. Well, first, before I get into that, though, I do want to mention whoever's listening to this right now that has asked me personally, that's listening through me, that's watching this and feels they should be a part of it, man, please feel free to reach out to these guys. These are good guys. They definitely want to get a chunk of the importance of it. So reach out to them. It's really about that word. So take that initiative, please. Like, feel free. I don't think they're trying to block anybody from being on it or they're not trying to. It's just like Risky mentioned, you can't get everybody. So off that, and then we're trying to get everybody. But man, I'm sure it's pretty damn near impossible. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of what you just mentioned, and I kind of want to ask you about that too, man, because I know personally when I'm doing whatever it may be, whether it's putting together an event, a festival, anything it could possibly be, you want to be kind of like, you know, I don't want to say choosy, but you want to get the right people that you know you definitely want to get part of this project or whatever it may be. And like you said, you can't get every single person that just, you know, I recorded a track, or, you know, I'm the best freestyler from this neighborhood or from this event, or from, you know, I beat so-and-so in a battle, whatever it may be that makes them feel like they're worthy. Like, how do you judge that, man? Because I know my way of saying who's important, who's not, or why not, but that person might be important to them and to a certain circle, and that's you. Like, how do you really weigh that, man?
I can definitely say that we do have a vetting process, so to speak, and it's not like a standard, like, okay, they got to go through these tests and these tests and these tests. I mean, it's basic things. Again, too, I also have to keep in mind that, like, okay, just because I haven't heard of this person or I'm not super familiar with this person doesn't mean shit. Like, we have a couple people in here already we filmed that I did not know nothing about, and then I truly understood why they had to be. Other people said and that's the thing, we kind of pull certain people, you know, like, okay, so we'll go, if someone's older, I'll go to people in that era and say, hey, we're talking to this person, why do they need to be in the film, you know? And then clearly if a ton of people are like, nah, then, you know, versus, oh yeah, no, you should. But I mean, for the most part, obviously we have to make sure that there's, like I said, can't have every fucking kid who busted a fucking rap down at the fucking Terror Dome, never put out a record, this and that. I mean, first of all, most everybody, well, let's just, the graph is its own thing. Dancers are their own thing. And that's not really a problem because those people kind of are who they are. We know who they are. We know all the big people that we need to get in those, graph and dance and the DJs. But like the rappers, for example, you know, if you don't have a record out and you've never done anything, then at that point we start to go, okay, then we start vetting through, well, what have you done to make an impact? And there are people that don't have, okay, perfect example. Fully G. One record, one 12-inch single. The discography that couldn't compete with fucking a ton of whack rappers in this city. But that one 12-inch single is as powerful as really dope motherfuckers' whole fucking discography.
Yeah, I mean, to get back to something Visual said before, you know, it's not a group of LA dudes coming in trying to take advantage of Chicago hip hop because Chance the Rapper is hot. It is people coming up from the Chicago hip hop community, and I hope people really kind of stop and think about the importance of that. And I'm not trying to toot our horn with that or anything, but anybody coming in who's not from Chicago hip hop, you know, how are you researching? How are you coming together and putting something like this together? You know, you're doing internet searches. You're looking on Google. You know, you're not doing a lot of in-depth stuff to get a hold of some of these people. And when we get a name that comes to us, or a name that we're not too familiar with, but we want to know more about, we take that.
I'm doing 10, 15 phone calls easily.
We take that, we take those extra steps to see, and to make it, and to make sure that we're doing it justice, because there could be somebody who never put out a record, but maybe he started a style, or maybe he started a fashion trend or something like that that's now being lived on, now. So like, we don't, the archive is of course going to live forever. And that's something that we're going to be working on for a long time. At the same time, we can't have, we can't be working 40 hours a week on a job that doesn't pay us forever. So, there does have to be some sort of limit or vetting process to it. So,
and there's dudes that we've come across that, or I mean, just people in general that we've come across that have, like I said, they haven't necessarily made a mark with a physical record, but have introduced certain people, or were part of the culture, and so they were very impactful in maybe other people's careers that were very important. So maybe they didn't put out a record, but if this person didn't meet this person, then this crew wouldn't have happened. And we think those are things that are important to the story too.
And to be really honest, I would love to move on from this. I don't want to do this whole thing about people that aren't on here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But to be honest with you, I would just want to end it with saying that right now, what you said right there, man, I think is something that's really important that I personally would like to get across as a message that we're talking about that directly involves this, is that without a group of people, or without adding one to another, or without a mass movement of people, a lot of things wouldn't have happened in the city, or are happening in the city now. And we all need to take account for that, because I think there's a lot of individual people that feel I'm this, of like, yo, if it wasn't for so I wouldn't be there. If it wasn't for them, we all wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for this, there's, in order for success to happen, there has to be a struggle. There has to be pain. There has to be sacrifice. And it's either your pain, your struggle, or your sacrifice that got you that success, or someone else's. And a lot of times it's been someone else's. So a lot of cats got to realize that. I recognize the people that laid groundwork for me, and now I'm realizing the people I laid groundwork for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got both sides of it. I'm realizing who was here before me to get me where I'm at. And I'm realizing who me and people in my era knocked down doors for. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's a beautiful thing all around. So I really want to have everybody, at the very least, if you're not happy with that idea or that concept, at least accept it as the truth, because it is the absolute truth.
Yeah. And that's the one thing, man, we want to make sure we don't miss those people. Like, we don't want to walk away from this saying we walked away from someone because, they didn't put a record out, but you know what? They're directly responsible for this person's career, which led to Chance doing this and all. It's a chain of events. So that's why we're doing like research. I'm on the phone hours a day with people doing research, literally every single day. And we've had people look at the website and go, I don't know who these people are. And we're like, good, because you're about to learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what's up.
But I mean, but a reason that a project like this comes together is because of people like you. I'm going to call you out. I want to call you out specifically because you've been more than some to help us, get in contact with some people or help advocate for us to some people who, especially some of the younger kids nowadays, because of what you're doing, sure. Who might not take a project like this as serious as we would like them to.
Right.
So that's, so it's, the more people that we can get to push and advocate about the importance of this, the better. So I just, I personally want to thank you for who you've, helped bring us in contact with.
Bro, I mean, I feel like it's my responsibility, I'm just, I'm putting in the work that I'm supposed to put in, and, there's nothing expected out of it besides me. I was supposed to do,
It's a community. It's a full-blown community project. While as we keep on, and I'll say it again, this isn't Ryan's film or my film or Sean or anybody else's film. It's the community's film. It's going to come down to it. And we're going to walk away from this, and we're going to be like, here, this is it. We're going to get it as close as we can possibly get. Trust me, we're gonna get to every list anybody ever asked for or anybody name, and we're at least gonna ask these people, to be a part of it. Put it this way, if they're not on it, one of two things happen. We couldn't find them, like literally after looking, couldn't find them, and they're just like off the fucking grid. Like, and I've dug up some fucking buried ass motherfuckers, but either they're off the grid or they've just flat out said no. We really haven't had anybody really say no to us too much yet.
That's what's up.
Hey, Carlos.
Oh, wait.
Jesus Christ, Carlos.
Son.
Our co-host is back.
Visual. Hello. Welcome.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Welcome, motherfucker.
I heard Risky dropping nothing but F-bombs. I decided it was time for me to log in.
There you go.
Right.
That's a good time. That's a good time to come in when Risky's talking shit.
Carlos, fuck you.
Brother?
Want to send a quick shout out to Mood Swings watching the show.
I get those.
DJ Hammurabi, who says, Risky, your beard is on point.
Hold on.
Okay, let's not make Risky's head any bigger than it already is. Let's relax.
I agree. And I also take a little offense to that, too, especially because I just cut off like 3 inches off of mine like a week ago. So
don't let Risky's beard get you, Ryan, man. Your beard's fine.
My majestic man face mane.
Face mane.
Isn't
the fuck is this turning into?
You're good in my book, man.
And some of us don't need to hide behind facial hair. Some of us just throw the sexy out there and handle business. Boom.
Clean, Carlos. Keep it clean, man.
That's it.
Great.
So what are you guys talking about?
So, we've actually been talking a lot about Midway, to be honest with you. We've kind of been getting interviewed by our guest.
Well, I'll tell you what, I give props again. As we were stating, I give props to Visual because Visual was one of those people that we went to early because we've always had a good relationship with them. At least me and Ryan have known him for a long time. We worked on a project with them, the community service project back in the day, and which was his crew. And we knew like a handful of people because we came into this strategic. We knew that other people had done other things like this and things just hadn't quite got finished or got off the ground with other people as much. And, now knowing too, getting into it, it's like, I don't blame anybody for not being able to get anything finished with the amount of work that goes into it. Really, the only reason some of these probably didn't get done is people didn't necessarily anticipate what it would be and how much of a team you'd need and this and that. But we knew that we needed to go into it in order to get people to take us seriously. We had to have a big, like a lot of work done already instead of just coming to the table and being like, yeah, this is a dream. We're going to just fucking do this. So you just buy into it right off the bat. So we knew that you and a handful of other people would kind of be like, cool, and get what we're doing. And you knew that we were dudes that are like show improve type dudes. We get shit done. So I want to thank you for fucking really kind of supporting us from the beginning.
No doubt, man. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I said, I'm happy to be here and seeing you guys progress, man. Chicago and hip hop are two very important things to me. So I like to make sure that, I'm involved in the right ways with whatever's going on with it. And also that, I'm able to see what exactly is being done about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure the right information. To me, man, information education is major in anything. Yeah. I've never really done anything to like look cool, to like get props for it, or to be known as a certain guy for this, that, and the third. I don't tell nobody like what I am or what I do. I let other people say it for me. And I feel that's the best way to make it happen. So it's truly an honor for you guys to recognize that, man. I truly appreciate that. That's really what my entire movement has always been about, is other people talking for me and about me, which happens a lot. Good ways and bad ways too, which is cool though. It's part of the game, though. You know what I'm saying?
About you ain't shit. So
hey, man, and trust me, they've been talking, baby. They've been talking. But that's good though. I love it. At the end of the day, though, man, I know what I'm here for. I know what I'm about, and my real people that know what's going on, man. That's the people that's important. That's why when you guys reached out to me, man, it was like, man, you know, it's nothing. It's nothing but a word. I'm there. And once again, like I said, man, I really truly appreciate the recognition.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And you know, you're doing you know, speaking of Chicago and hip hop and education and all that kind of stuff, man, you are doing some amazing things with Hello Hip Hop and other things. So maybe so what aside from music, which you're still doing, what how did that evolve? First of all, because obviously that's where we knew you. We knew you as an MC. So how did that, you know, but that's it's been a while now. So how, you know, how did you evolve into kind of the role that you're playing now?
This is how it evolved, man, to be honest with you, man, because one thing I've always been part of, you know, like the hip hop community in general, obviously in Chicago. And the one thing that I realized that was always missing, especially as I got a little older, and I was just at one point, man, especially after the battle stuff, like I got out of it. When people started like spitting writtens at me and like preparing to battle me and shit, I was like, I'm done with this bullshit. This is a fucking joke. I'm not part of that. You know, I'm part of instinct, man. I'm part of like, that's culture to me. Like that's like raw and authentic. Like you don't fuck with me. You got something to say about me. Like, let's battle it out. If you prepared and all that stuff, like that's why like the new stuff, I'm not part of it, man. So when it got to that point, when I was kind of like out of the battle scene, I realized there was a lot of things about hip hop and Chicago, and I don't mean Chicago hip hop, I mean Chicago in general, that just didn't sit right with me, man. And the one thing I realized the most is that I was tired of people arguing about like, this MC is better than this MC, this producer's better than this producer, this DJ is better than this DJ. I was like, that's cool. Like hip hop in essence is cool, but hip hop is 1,000 times bigger than the music. And the DJs, 1,000 times. I remember I challenged a friend of mine and I told him, talk to me about hip hop without talking about music. And it was fucking silence. And that's when I knew I had to do something. Because hip hop, if you really know about hip hop, with all the things I just mentioned,
man, it's the way you fucking breathe and move, bro.
Bro, if it's not about the people, though, if it's not about the people and the reason why they started to do this, why they started to dance, rap, why they started to form together, because there was a lack of power. There was a lack of unity. There was a lack of structure. There was oppression being dropped on top of their head, and they had to move out of it, and they had to empower each other. Dude, now in 2017, more than ever, if what you are doing, and it has hip hop attached to it, is not about empowerment, it's not about education, it's not about giving people room acceptance, I don't want nothing to do with it. And that's because that's the facts. That's the roots of it. That's the foundation of it. That's what it's about. That's from the South Bronx to before that. And it's all about the people. Like if you're just, you know, if you want to argue about rappers and they didn't give me props and my beat is better than his and my rap's better than that and my album this and album of the year and freshman XL freshman, all this garbage that people start fucking crying about, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm about the kids. I'm about the people. I'm in the streets. I'm in Pilsen. I'm in Little Village. I'm in Inglewood. I'm on the south side, the north side. I'm in the fucking burbs if I gotta be. There's kids that are poor, broke, and miseducated in the burbs, wherever it is. That's where I'm at.
And
you know what I'm saying? That's my movement.
Hip hop truly gives, and not even like you said, it's not necessarily about one thing and the elements, right? It gives a voice to the voiceless. It gives an empowered method of expression. Whether you're a rapper and you can rap, whether you're a DJ and you can use your hands, whether you're a painter and you're going to do a dope piece, or whether you're a dancer and you can express you're on the floor, or if you're just a fan and you're not skilled in any of the four elements, but you are hip hop because you live it and breathe it, and you express yourself maybe through fashion, or you express yourself through sharing the music and educating and sharing messages. I agree with you 100%. It's how you live and breathe and what you do, man.
Let me ask you this, because right before I logged in, Visual, I heard you talking about if it's not a struggle, then what was it that you were saying?
Oh yeah, I said success, man. There has to be struggle and sacrifice involved in it, and it's either your struggle and sacrifice or somebody else's that did it for you to succeed.
Right. You know? Does it have to be a struggle to be hip hop?
Does it have to be a struggle to be hip hop? It does not have to be a struggle.
That was the context of community building when you were referring to that.
Yes, okay. Definitely. And that's what but that's what I'm referring to. Like if and it has the word hip hop attached to it, and there's a bunch of grown ass men crying about bullshit, that's not hip hop, bro.
Right.
And that's the reason I got separated from a lot of shit in my community, quote unquote, because there was a lot of grown ass men crying about bullshit. And I decided to separate myself from that because I was not about grown men crying about bullshit. Just couldn't be part of it, man.
Dude,
I could not be part of it.
Me and Ryan have.
I'm about progressive movement, bro. Hip hop told me to perpetuate, move, and get it for the rest of my life. I will not cry about not being included. I will not cry about not being the best. I will not cry about a fucking award. I don't want awards. Never wanted an award. Never will receive an award unless they fucking force it in my fucking hand. You know what I'm saying? I just you guys saying, cool people like you guys saying, hey, you were top 10 for us to interview. That's what it's about to me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask you guys. I didn't have to tell somebody else. Like it just happens. And to me, that's my pride. Like talk, don't see me type, don't see me tell people and talk about people. And that's not me. I don't do that. It's visual, baby. It's not a joke. I see it all. See that shit. My action is where it's at. I'm gonna make people see it.
Nah, if you're complaining about not being part of the fucking party, make yourself where they can't turn you down.
I'm a party throwing motherfucker, bro. I've been excluded from plenty parties, bro. Plenty parties, and we're going way beyond hip hop. Way beyond hip hop. As a child, as a Southside kid, as a little village kid, as a Pilsen kid, as a Mexican kid, as a Chicago kid, as all kinds of shit. I've been excluded of many parties, so I'm a party throwing motherfucker, man.
You had said something, and me and Ryan you had mentioned something. Me and Ryan get into not arguments, but we get in discussions because we agree on this. But you were mentioning about how people bitch about the Freshman XL, or they bitch about like award shows about who's winning an award. And I laugh because I'm like, everybody involved. First of all, XXL is so far removed from fucking hip hop. Why the fuck do you care? It's so un-hip hop. Like to me, all that shit, I'm like, who the fuck cares about who's on a fucking magazine cover? and then they'll bitch about like MTV or the BET Awards or other things like that. I'm like, all that shit, it's so far removed. I'm like, perfect example is when they were all yelling about the fucking Florida broad, the Iggy Azalea broad, right? So they was all bitching about her winning fucking whatever pop award she won. And I'm like, why are any of you mad? That's a fucking pop award. Like, it says rap and hip hop, but it's not for you. It's for them. It's so they can all fuck each other's dick.
At the end of the day, man, people don't really know what this is, man. Like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000% with you, man. They don't really know what this is. They don't really know what hip hop is. They don't really know what it's about. They don't really live it. Like you said, living it and breathing it. People don't do this shit, man. They do not do this shit. I have nothing else to do but this. You know what I'm saying?
Hip-hop,
and what I do is it.
Hip-hop
but go ask the 40s in the city what I do. You know? Go ask the grown-ass men in the city, the kids, the shorties, the ask other artists. Ask, you know, like I said, that's what it's about, man. Like, you got to spread it. It can't be about you. It can't be about an individual, man. That's why when you guys said, you know, this is not Ryan's documentary, this is not Chad's documentary, this ain't Sean's documentary, that's what it's about to me. Because if it was, I would tell you guys to go fuck yourselves if it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
I'd be like, Risky, go fuck yourself.
And it's just got to be the same way for you, bitch. Go fuck yourself. It's got to be the same way for you.
Hey, and you should. And that's exactly how you should approach me on everything I do. Don't ever let me say like, man, this is all about me, bro. And I'm gonna get this,
you never have, bro.
This bread, and I'm gonna get these awards, and I'm gonna be the coldest fucking rapper, and everybody's gonna talk about me. Like,
I've known you since you were a fucking kid.
Yes. Literally a kid.
You were literally a kid, and you've never been like that.
Since you were literally a kid. You were not literally fucking a kid.
No fucking kids, just a kid. I was
go fuck yourself. No, let me tell you about visual. So I'm just gonna put this out there because Visual again is really quiet about it or humble about it. But for people that don't know, Visual is the brother to Panic or Hispanic of the Mole Men crew. And not only is he brother to them, but by default, he's family and brother to the Mole Men. But he never, I mean, I think you probably got asked 1,000 times where you just want to tell people to shut the fuck up. Why didn't your brother produce a whole record for you? Or why didn't the Moles do records? Or why aren't you on Mole Men and this and that? You were probably like, shut the fuck up. Because you always wanted to do your own thing. I'm assuming that's what it is. I think we've had this conversation, but you wanted to carve out your own fucking stone for yourself. And I mean, and you did work with your brother and you did get tracks, but you didn't, you did that after you were on and had a name. I mean,
right.
And you guys started out as the first that I remember you as far as music was Family Jewels era.
Yeah.
And you were doing all your shit on your own.
Very early starts. Yeah, that was the very, very beginnings. Yeah. That was definitely one of the beginning points in my rap career, whatever you want to say. And you know what's to touch right back on what you were saying as far as, you know, family and Panic being my brother. Like I struggled with that for some time. You know what I'm saying? There was a struggle of like, man, do I really try to go this lane and really try to be part of this and try it? And there was, I would feel personally like there was times where I really tried and it just didn't either work out or didn't feel right or something was not happening right. So then I kind of had to really push towards my own way. And two things that really stood out to me, man, that came from kind of like some big bros in the game is I'll never forget, man, when Cap D was in my basement. And he told me like, yo, why you don't get no beats from Panic, man? Didn't sit right when he said that. You know, it didn't sit right. He's like, no, why don't you have him help you, man? Like, why don't he put you on? Like he kept like adding to it, like beats, then put you on, then help you. And I was like, it wasn't feeling right when Cat was telling me this. And it really struck me. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I want that. I don't really think I want that. So I struggled with it. But most recently, man, 2 years ago, man, I hadn't seen Juice in years. And I saw him 2 years ago again for the first time in years after seeing him. Man, we're sitting at a Starbucks like bullshit. Me and Juice together is like ridiculous, man. If you know Juice, you just know he's a ridiculous human being, period. So me and him, that's just acting foolish, being, you know, ridiculous. And like I said, man, I've known Juice since I was a fucking kid, man. So like we're clowning, cracking jokes, and Juice has helped me out in so many fucking ways, man. He's been such a blessing to me, man, in my career. And we're sitting there talking shit. Like reflective moment, man, where we just didn't say a word to each other, and you could tell we were both like thinking about shit. Leans in and tells me like, hey man, you want to know the thing I respect the most about you is that you use Moment to like catapult you anywhere. Stubborn motherfucker, and you took your steps. And when Juice told me this shit, that sat heavy on my heart. Like this is dope for him to say that to me. That's really what it's about, man. So that was important to me, man. And that was just a couple years ago for him to say that. So that was really important for me, for someone like Juice to say that shit to me, you know? So yeah, that's really what it's about, man. Like I said, I struggled with it. Did what I did, and at the end of the day, man, like Moment is fucking family, dude. Like regardless, like,
well, I mean that was the
Panic, literally my brother to everybody else. Like that's family, dude. You know, that's family. So that's a whole other thing, man. Without hip hop, it's family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dope, man.
But how cool would it have been? Not necessarily your brother, but how cool would it have been if someone would have been like, "Yo, Visual, dude, your shit is dope. Here's some beats. Let's get together. Let's get, you know, a little handout, just a little bit."
Yeah, and you know what's happened? like I've been on like Moment projects where like PNS did a joint with me and Vision from Gary, Indiana. Shout out to my twin. Vision was good. It's the 1,000-yard stare. You know what I'm saying?
Or yeah, 1,000-yard
for
stare.
loss.
1,000-yard
Yeah,
stare.
and then like you mentioned, I've done multiple joints with Panic, man, for moment projects to my personal projects, and we have a couple on release joints. You know, I've worked with Memo. Me and Memo did joints. You know, actually Memo was on my very first project. I think Memo is like the first producer that I got a beat from. He on my very first project, Dirty, and like 1,000, I think. Yeah, a little bit of history, you know what I'm saying? And that was 5 finger count. Boosting and Memo produced my boosting song right there. So that was a while ago, man. So I'm working with Mo Man. You know what I'm saying? It's been going on.
And you know who else is family with Mo Man? Knowledge.
No doubt, man. I know Knowledge was kind of a big part of a lot of things that happened between and Knowledge and Chicago Head, actually, man. I don't know if that's kind of a big like that connection with the moment and is a big piece.
Oh, hold on. We're losing you, C's.
Yeah,
you lost it for a minute. Hey Ryan, should he restart and just come back? We'll hold it down for a second.
Yeah, can we try that real quick?
Do a restart because it's just like buffering info. Yeah, no worries. We'll just hold it down for a minute.
If you have like Dropbox or Google Drive or anything like that, turn all that stuff off for a second.
Yes, turn that stuff up. We'll see if that.
So while he's doing that, kind of the point that I wanted to try to get to, I agree that whether it's an album, whether it's a piece that you're painting on the wall, whether it's a documentary that you're making, I mean, it's going to be tough. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But holy crap, wouldn't it be a lot easier if people jumped in and helped?
Well, yeah, I think from his sake though, is he really wanted to carve his own, like, because you gotta understand, the Mo Men were it. They were, especially that particular time when he was coming up.
Yeah,
they were the top of the heat producers, and like I said, I bet he was kind of just sick of motherfuckers, and like you said, described with fucking Cap D and everybody. He was like, nah, I want to do my own thing. And he really carved his own niche out. I mean, he was putting release after release. He formed his own crew, Community Service, and Got Love. And he came from, Family Jewels, which was Rusty Chains and Matlock. Yeah. I give him a lot.
Is Panic his older brother?
Yeah, Panic is his older brother.
Boy, older brothers be ruining for us second borns, boy.
And they did work together. They did, like slowly you started seeing Vij either getting beats or working, but it was long after he got his name. And I think he was respected more in the community. I mean, maybe not consciously people, but like people are like, fuck, this dude's coming out of nowhere, making a noise at like all these battles and shows and whatnot. And
there's a lot to say to that, to say it'd be super easy to jump on your big brother's coattails and get it popping that way. But you said, no, that's his thing. I'm gonna do my thing, and actually do it and actually get the respect that he's looking for. I think
he carved his own niche out, and now it's funny because
level right there.
Yeah, and he's done so much now, like with Hello Hip Hop and the community organizing and the education and all this stuff. He's so far, like, not removed, but like he's so his own thing that people who even know don't even think of. Maybe back in the day you thought, oh, it's his Panic's brother, but now you're like,
that's visual.
Yeah, it's age. Like you're like, oh fuck, that's right. You guys are brothers. It's kind of more like that.
Yeah.
That's what he did, man. I give him fucking credit.
Yeah.
All I have in fucking clan of kids. Still continuing to be a important part of the hip hop community, and I know he's got like 4 or 5 little girls.
Oh, he's got 4 or 5 daughters?
I think so, at least 4.
Oh, what did he do in a previous life?
Yeah.
I did amazing things in a previous life.
You poor young man.
I was stating how much you've done and how much you still continue to do, all by having your clan of kids. And I said, I know he's got at least 4, possibly 5 little girls.
Yeah. No doubt, man. I'm a man of 0 excuses, man. I have a lot of people tell me they ain't got time for shit. I'm like, man, you're full of it. Yeah.
I do want to say though that we do have Big Brother Panic checking us out, and he wanted
what up, Panic?
And he wanted to say that
yo, me and Panic right now. I'm glad Panic's listening in, man. I want to talk about Panic real quick. You know what? This is on some whole other shit. Like has nothing to do with hip hop, right? But it's so dope because me and Panic, we're talking a lot on text. Like we text a lot. Like I stay kind of busy, man. So I'll shoot him a text once in a while, see what's up with him. And we've been talking about stocks a lot. Like that's what me and him been talking about. So I think that's so dope. Like we're just like, yo, what's up with this stock? What's up with that stock? He'll send me links and tell me which one to look out for. So that's kind of the game we're on right now, man. I'm really digging that vibe, bro.
You guys talk about this.
Getting that money. You're getting that money.
You guys diversifying your funds and such.
Man, like, yes, baby, exactly, man. We diversifying, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My man.
Shout out to Panic.
Yes,
sir. Panic. So I watch all Panic's videos of Cody getting down.
Man, Cody.
I remember over at the old Moho, man, when you'd go over and see his original pup. Rest in peace to the original pup. What was that pup's name? The golden?
Sonny.
Sonny. Oh, Sonny was a great dog.
He was a Labrador. He might have been a Labrador, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was a lab. You're right. He was a lab.
Yes, sir. That was a dope dog.
He's telling you.
Did you say Ed said or Panic said something, Ryan?
He was just saying that from his side, he wanted Visual to be his own man as well. He wanted to do his own thing. He said it was mutual, but you guys never really discussed it officially.
Yeah, it was awkward, man. I think that's really, I think that's a good way of putting it. It was we never really had like some official talks. It was, it was different, man. It wasn't just like me and him like doing music, but it was like that were part of it, and it was awkward, man. It was just some weird shit. So, but whatever, it is what it is, and it's dope. You know what I'm saying?
I have a older brother.
He's happy where he's going. It's dope.
I have an older brother as well. That mug used to leave me at the house. He'd go hang out with a friend, leave me at the house. I'd go grab my little pencils and my little sketchbook, be all salty and shit. Be like, I didn't want to go anyway. I'm with you, dude.
Put you on the spot, Midge.
I'm with you, dude.
On the spot.
Since your brother's clearly listening, what's your favorite Panic beat?
Ooh, my favorite Panic beat.
Do you have a favorite Panic beat?
I have two.
Older brothers may be cool, but they're not always cool.
Yeah, well, he's all right. He's all right. You know what I'm saying? He's all right. There's actually 3 favorite Panic beats, man. One is It's Okay. Cap D joint. I love that fucking beat.
That's my hands down all-time favorite. Nothing's close to it. It's okay.
I really like Freestyler Written. It hit me, you know what I'm saying? It hit my heart, and that's just such a great record. And
you're right.
That's another joint. And then there's a joint that we recorded that's unreleased, and that's one of my favorite Panic beats too. I just love it. It's like, the thing about that guy, man, is that fucking guy always has like a different style like every year. The thing is, a lot of you guys might not even know about it because he's got all these like unreleased beats. He's just like a machine, just banging beats out. And I feel like every year when I'm hearing Panic beats, there's just a whole like different vibe, a different element, a different sound that he kind of focused on, or a different approach that he focused on for that year. And
well, he's always matured with the times.
Definitely. And honestly though, but the thing is, like, I wouldn't say that he's trendy though. He's not like, yo, this is what's popping and I'm doing it.
No.
He's just like
no.
in his own world. And I always try to figure it out. Like, yo, what the fuck? What does this do? Like, what is missing that there's something extra, you know what I'm saying, that not everybody has, that guy has. Because sometimes when I hear his production, I'm like, bro, getting underrated, like beyond underrated.
Yeah.
And I try to separate myself from my brother. I try to separate myself and be realistic. Like, no, this dude is cold. Like, this dude is cold. Like, he, even if I didn't know him and he was like some dude from like fucking he would be one of the coldest producers that I've heard.
Listen,
like, for real.
Anybody
Hands
can
down.
fucking now, especially with the way production tools are now, anybody can fucking cut and paste and put their little fucking, you know, little notes in the fucking box, color their fucking boxes and make beats these days. What your brother has is a fucking ear. He finds, whether it's a sample or whether he's coming up with stuff from scratch. That's what your brother has. He has it.
He's a fucking scientist, man, for real. He's a scientist. It's like he's there like learning it and figuring it out and like tweaking it. You know what I'm saying? He's a scientist with it. That's so dope.
He
man, when you're
do you remember this? This is from a while ago. Little insight here from Panic. He said around when he was 12 years old, your mom gave you all of his GI Joes because she said that he was too old for them.
Yeah, I do remember that. And actually, I remember him still wanting to play with them and like being mad as hell because he couldn't still play with them. And then sometimes we would low-key play together with them when he was 12 and I was like 5 and shit. That was hilarious. Yeah, I do remember.
He'd
that.
be like,
Joe's at 12, bro.
To keep in my room. Or it's still mine.
I remember that.
In your room.
And you know what? That's what I remember about being Panic though. Growing up, man, there was always like little conflicts with like, man, like why you taking my GI Joes? I would take his GI Joes and shit. Like I remember too, like tapes, dude, tapes. Oh man, that was my thing, tapes. I'd be like, damn, I ain't got that OC on tape. Like let me borrow this. You know, I was always borrowing shit from him. You know, I'm like, dude, we live in the same house. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. You know, you're gonna get it back. You're gonna get it back.
Well, I'll tell you what, Panic.
Brother shit is great, bro. Brother shit is great.
Panic, you can buy all the GI Joes you want now that you're making money and you're an adult.
Exactly, dude.
Look at, I buy all this shit.
Look at that. Look at that. Is that like 4 different Iron Men, bro? Is that what that is? And 1 Venom, or is it just?
Nah,
he's got Iron Man. He's got Copper
Man.
Oh wait, Deadpool was a Deadpool.
Man. Yeah, Daredevil.
Devil. Okay, I see it more clearly now. Yeah.
Iron
okay.
Man, and there's Captain America, Hulk, and Thor and shit down here.
Grown ass men get to do whatever they want with their money, man.
Fucking right.
Wrong with that.
So
I just got, man, I'm kind of lame. I got books behind you, bro. That's it.
So how did you get started with Hello Hip Hop? Like, and you know, I know it took a lot of work. We talk about work and you with persistence and doing shit. How long did it take for that night to become such a hit, you know? And you know, he still kept it going. Yeah,
well, you know, I feel like Hello Hip Hop was something that was in me for a long ass time, man. It just needed to like for the right time to come for it to become what it did. It actually came from a mixtape. I did a mixtape called the Hello Hip Hop. A bunch of joints that I rocked with that people weren't really, I guess, using on mixtapes and rapping over, just like kind of like rare beats from, you know, the late 90s to like 2000s. I was rapping over like interludes, like Cypress Hill interludes and shit like that. That I was like, man, nobody ever rapped on this in the history of hip hop. So I rapped on it on the mixtape. And just grabbed a bunch of dope joints and just like remade them pretty much like Redman instrumentals, like Tribe Called Quest instrumentals. And I called it Hello Hip Hop. And I really, you know, enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite projects. It was just fun to work on. And especially cats overseas, man, like they really loved it, man. I got so much emails and from that project. And to this day, you know, I get a lot of feedback from that project. So that word or the term Hello Hip Hop was always in the back of my head. I just thought it sounded fresh, man. And when I got approached about doing an event, and this cat that I was working with briefly, he told me like, man, I'm not going to do this night no more. Like, do you know anybody that might want it? And I was like, I'll take it. So he's like, what would you do with it? I told him what I would do. And just the rest is history, man. You know, I took it over and turned it into what it is now.
Nice. And how long has that been going?
Man, we just had our 6-year anniversary show last Wednesday, but the actual anniversary is on the 16th, man. So this Saturday, I believe, will be 6 years that it marks officially on the calendar.
Wow.
What's the full scope of Project Hello Hip Hop?
So the full scope, man, I guess it really started as kind of like events, right? And it went from events from me kind of like putting on cats that I know, just putting some showcases together with cats that I know that I rock with, that I've always rocked with. And then it really, at a point, man, like a few months in, I kind of said like, man, these cats, they've been having opportunities, you know, they do shows, they do this, they do that. And it was dope to me to give them, you know, another opportunity through me. But I really wanted to give cats an opportunity that never really had one, that I kept hearing about, or that I knew that weren't getting booked or getting overlooked. So that's all I really started to focus on, man, was the young cats. And it's funny, man, because it kind of became like a conflict with a lot of people within the community, man. People were like, man, you're just doing trap music. That ain't hip hop and this ain't that. I was hearing a lot of it directly, and I was hearing a lot of it from other people. And at one point I was kind of like, that's fucked up that they feel that way. But then quickly after that, I was like, man, I don't give a fuck that they feel that way. Because I was giving a home to a lot of people, man. For real, man. And you know what? And to go back to progression and perpetual movement, that's ultimately what hip hop is, man. You can't be stagnant, and because you love, you know, a certain flow, a certain style, a certain era, a certain artist, like that's all you're about. And if that's what you want to do, man, more power to you. But I am not that guy. So if anything's ever attached to me, my name or my movement, just know that I'm not going to be the guy that's going to please the traditional shit. I've never just really been about the traditional shit, but about everything to where like my foundation is always heavily planted in. Like you cannot deny that I have a thick, heavy, well-constructed, with a beautiful fucking blueprint and the strongest bricks built are there for my foundation. But everything on top of it, it might be a little crazy to some people. It might not sit well with some people. It might not be everybody's cup of tea. And I'm cool with that, man, because I feel that there's a lot of people that don't get opportunities they should because of traditions. I'm not really a fan of tradition, man. I'm kind of like, I'm anti-establishment, anti-tradition. I'm not a religious person. I don't really feel like, you know, things that are too sheltered and constructed in ways where they don't allow people to be free in any way. I'm not really about that. So Hello Hip Hop's definitely not about, you know, a certain way, a certain wave, a certain movement. And sometimes, you know, things like that cause some problems, but it's okay, man. I'm used to problems. I'll take them on.
Who are some?
I'm a solver.
who are some of the artists that you've seen come up through Hello Hip Hop and are now making some noise?
Oh man, I remember I put Saba on a cypher that we had before he was even 21. Man, I snuck him into Subterranean. Sorry guys, sorry. I swear he didn't drink that night. So I snuck Saba into Subterranean, and he performed in a cypher that we did, man. Jacob, Jonathan, that were rocking with him at the time, and yeah, man, I got Saba in there, and that was really dope, man. He was happy, he was excited about that. Also, like another cat that's actually part of Saba's crew, MF and Mello. I've booked MF and Mello, man, a couple years ago before people really even knew who he was, and right now he's really starting to get a buzz. Of course, you know, him being part of Pivot Gang, Saba, Joseph Chilliam's also getting his name buzzed out there, and Mello's part of that whole movement. Man, just so many artists, my goodness. Right now, man, there's some artists that are really, really dope right now that you guys may have not even heard of, that I feel are really like are the next artists from Chicago that are gonna make a huge buzz, man. Are like this cat Independent, this cat Real Scoob, Michelle, man, she's so dope. Oh, my God, Retro Gibson, many, man. We've booked over 300 artists, man. Wow. So, and that's just locally. That's locally. We started going to South by Southwest. And then this year will be our first year. Next month, actually, we're going to Atlanta, Georgia during A3C. And we've been doing events. They're not official events that are part of South by and A3C, but there are events during that time. We're just taking our steps to get into the actual, you know, official stuff. But right now we're doing events during those festivals, and we've been booking artists from around the country for that, man. I'm talking about artists from Houston, from Atlanta, from New York, from California, from Vegas, from down south, a little bit of everywhere, man. So that's really the focus right now, man. Just trying to constantly like get a new platform for artists, and that's just the event side. And then it goes to like the youth development, man. So I've been working with a Elevarte Community Studio, which is based in Pilsen. I've been working with them for a few years. And, you know, I'm the one that's, you know, the individual that's contracted as the instructor for the program, but it's through my company, Hello Hip Hop. You know, they're the ones that I guess, you know, pay the taxes and everything on that. So, and it's part of the whole process of what everything I wanted to do with Hello Hip Hop. At the end of the day, man, it's really about education. Who's that, man? That sounds, that's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful voice right there.
Where is that coming from?
I have no idea. Maybe it's Carlos. It seems like Carlos is a tricky guy, man. I feel like it might be Carlos. He's the kind of guy that would do something like that. It's just sing.
No, I didn't even know that was playing. My fault, dude.
Is that okay?
How was that?
See, I thought it was actually you singing. But yeah, man. So that's really that's another realm of it, man. Is the youth education, youth development. And of course, with all the artists that we work with, we also do artist development. We help them with their business development and pretty much anything that they need help with, man, consulting wise and everything else. At the end of the day, man, it's about the culture. It's about education. It's about, you know, really empowering the artists, the youth, and everybody that's part of what we're doing.
When we did a Midway event last year, I remember that you came through. I asked you to come through and you said, hey, can I bring my class? I'm like, absolutely. And they came through and got to meet and greet kind of some of Chicago's hip hop elite.
Yeah, they love that, man. I think, man, I want to say it was last summer. Was it last summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I had about 20 teens with me that I took that day. 20 teens, man. I remember them being really excited to go, and a couple of them that I still talk to, they still mention it. You know, they're like, man, remember that thing we went to? Like, they thought it was something that happens all the time. That's what was hilarious about it. Like, when they talk about it, they're like, man, when is that going to happen again? Like, is that every week? And I was like, nah. Like, these guys would go nuts if they did that every week. Like,
it's not every week you can get Centric IE and Necrobats in the same room with DA Smart and Psychodrama Cats and Nuisance. And I mean, it's just, that was really cool to have everybody from, you know, you had DeRoe in the house and
EC, Illa.
EC, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think those kids could even necessarily comprehend who everyone was, which is fine.
They didn't. They had no idea, man. It was crazy. Yeah. I had to do a lot of history flashbacks from that day for the next couple of weeks. So, but it was dope. It was dope. It gave me a lot of content.
Dope.
All right.
Well, Carlos. Carlos is. Are you prepping something right now?
Is he sewing or what is he doing?
No, he's being Carlos right now. He's doing his Carlos thing. We'll see it at the end. But I got to give you, like, as an educator, man, and you've always kind of been that guy to put your money, you know, walk the walk and talk the talk and put your money where your mouth is. Where a lot of people, I mean, this city's full of talkers. But they don't walk.
No, man. I'm talking. It's healthy. Get the blood flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no.
See some bullshit.
Hello Hip Hop was one of your favorite records. So we talk about this a lot in the film. Talk about some of your favorite outside of the Moles and outside of your projects. Talk about some of your favorite records, Chicago hip hop records.
Wow. Jesus, man, why is there so many? I used to love her.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, man, I used to love her. Is definitely gigantic in my life, because I think when that record came out, that's when I was like, man, I gotta rap, like for real rap. It really impacted me as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Just being a kid, period, and not really, you know, Chicago period, man, like just rap in general was a big part, man. So definitely Twista, Crucial Conflict, just that whole the West Side shit, man. Just other underground stuff that was so dope to me, man. Like homies that I went to school lunchroom, like that was impactful to me, man. As far as you know, rapping or rappers or hip hop. But I guess records, man. Like I said, I used to love her. Man, I always fuck with Crucial Conflict, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hey was really dope to me. Showdown was really dope to me. Twista, man, of course, just, man, Adrenaline Rush. Like, that was a gigantic record to me. Still to this day, gigantic. People I came up with too, man, I think impacted me as far as like things they were doing. Definitely Matlock, like the stuff that we did together, that I was a part of. I think especially that first Matlock mixtape, man, it still is a big part of me, man, because I was like part of every recording process for that whole project, man. Crazy Artist Type. If I wasn't there in the room high and drinking with them, then I was at least like somewhere. There was a lot of getting high and drinking for Crazy Artists. Man, yeah,
I would imagine
so.
That record, I'd say that record, but actually that cassette,
the cassette,
because it only really came out on cassette. I think eventually he might have kind of booted it up on CDR.
Yeah, it might have been CDR at one point.
But that cassette was big. And you could feel the rawness, and that's one of those moments where we talk about what hip hop is, and you can feel the hip hop in that. You can feel three dudes that loved, embraced, and lived hip hop, and it was coming out through stories of fun and struggle and fucking partying and hustling and yeah, I mean. The fucking crew, right? The family fucking
man,
jewels.
Yeah, it was family fucking jewels. Yeah, man. Those are definitely good times, man. Definitely good times. That was you know, and the Family Jewels hotline. We did have a hotline, right? Damn, wow, that's hilarious. We had a hotline. What the hell were we doing with a hotline? I don't know. It was hotline times, I think. That's what it was. Yo, man, if you listening, what the hell were we doing with that fucking hotline, bro? Like, what was
it was so hotline that fucking Drake had to steal it.
Right. It was, I don't know, man. That's hilarious. I didn't even know if we even checked
it.
It
was Hotline Bling.
Like, did we get messages? I don't know. But yeah, that was dope, man. Definitely, like I said, that record, man, was so much shit, and all the moment shit that was at that time too, man. Like when I was first really getting into my career, moment shit was just like, man. I think everybody that was dope at the time was rocking a moment beat, you know, from, you know, Master Stereo, Typical Cats, you know, Vakil, Juice, everybody that was really, really doing something, and that's just naming a few.
If you were out in Cali, you wanted a moment beat like the Cali.
That's locally, right? That's what I'm saying. That was locally, and then you go to the Rascals, the Planet Asias, and you know what I'm saying, like
fucking out east, everybody else that got down with them,
Saigons and all that, the Cormega, all that, man. So. Yeah, it was dope, man. Moment records are obviously a big part of me, man. You know what? All Natural too, man. I think they're one of my personal favorites in Chicago. Just Cap, man. Cap is just so ill, man. He was so ill, and the whole crew in general was dope to me, man. You know, Ayamas and you know, Green Weeds, the Twins, man. Daily Planet, definitely, man. Like I think they were a big part of it too. And just were some of my favorites, man, and listening to them was just dope. It was dope. I think it was just really dope to like not just like know them, but like be part of their like work process, or at least if they came through like listening to beats or you know, having freestyle sessions and stuff like that. It was big, man. Like Rhyme Fest is another one, you know. Rhyme Fest was one of my favorites, definitely, like coming up, man. Maybe, you know, like a cat you guys may not even, I don't know, is he on a doc or not, man? Macadamian Thorn. Like, I remember, like, dude, Macadamian, like, he was so dope to me, and he has so many, like, he was a dude that was definitely like, yo, you want to rap? Like, yo, this is how you do this, and this is, you know, and these lines go like this and that. He was trying to, like, you know, drop gems on me, man. So Macadamian was definitely somebody that was definitely one of my favorites.
Macadamian Thorn is on the list,
yes,
and I've been working on trying to get him locked down.
Dope. That's dope.
Immortal Griffin, I think, reached out, and we're gonna work on getting him in. Yeah, he's been on the list since day one.
Dope. Yeah, there's a lot of cats like that, man. I could go on forever with this one, man. You know what? Another one too, man. And rest in peace to this brother, man, was Mike One too. He was in my career in general and as a fan, because I think he's one of the artists. He honestly might be the first artist that, as an artist or someone that wanted to become an artist, I was a fan. Was going to his shows and was like, yo, this fucking dude is bananas. Like, he was so excited about everything on stage, bro, and like he was electric stage. And I think he was one of the first cats that kind of, to me, on stage took it beyond, like, because I was always around very lyrical cats, you know, and not to say Mike wasn't lyrical, but yeah, Mike took it to another step with it. Like, he was like energetic and exciting on stage. And I remember that as a young dude, like 17, 18, seeing him perform and being like, yo, this dude is dope. And I remember approaching him and being like, hey man, like, I would love to help you, like, your tapes, because I remember he had these gold tapes and he gave me this big bag, a plastic bag of gold tapes. He's like, man, these are all yours, like, whatever you want to do with them, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. And I remember him being like big, man, like, as far as somebody that definitely inspired me, and I was excited about you know, hearing what was next. I think the tape that I had too was was it Who's the Illest or the Illest? I think it was something ill. I'll never forget that damn little gold tape, man. Like, that was major part of my artistry and of my Chicago hip hop history, and of my motivation and inspiration, man, just to kind of to make it happen, was that Mike One tape, man. So yeah, that was big to me. That was really big.
Mike was definitely as we always said, Mike was a performance artist more than he was a recording artist.
Dude, definitely.
Like,
yes.
It was all about getting some raps done so we could go out on stage. That's why it took forever to him to do stuff, because I'd be like, we need to record this. And it would take him forever to do it because he was such a perfectionist, and he had a hard time feeling that he could record something with the same energy or how it felt on stage. So, like, Welcome to Chicago, which is a song a lot of people know at this point, we made that song in 2000. We put it together, wrote it and put it together, arranged it and everything, and made a whole song basically in like 2000, 2001, and didn't record it till 2008 or 9, Ryan?
Well, there's a recorded version of it from around 2003, but the version that everybody knows wasn't until 2000. Well, officially 2011 was when we put out the Welcome to Chicago EP. So.
Yeah, but I mean, this was pre, like, Phil. Phil wasn't around till much later.
That's what I'm saying, is that there was that version from way back in the day, but the version that everybody knows now wasn't until 2011. So that shows almost 10 years to put out
a record. Yeah,
perfect version of that one song.
Like, and we performed it on stage for 10 years before it ever came out. Yeah, these performance artists.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, he's a crazy fucker. Oh yeah, but no, and there's a lot of great Chicago performers. I seen at the anniversary for Blue Groove Lounge, it was the Elbow Room night Jesse had, and Spillane's performed, and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen ever in my life of any artist. It was and, you know, Elbow Room's a tiny room. If people have been down there and you know Elbow Room, it's a small, very, very intimate little room. And you're 2 feet away from the artist on stage. And the energy, man, that fucking Spillane's, that Chris and Tony and everybody gave back to that room. It felt like old school, like Blue Groove Lounge.
Yeah.
100%. Well,
real quick. I want to talk to Visual about, because I know you and I got a lot in common. We're son number 2. We come from Spanish mothers.
I'm not son number 2. So right away, you already fucked up. I'm not son number 2.
Well, you weren't the firstborn, I guess is what I was trying to say. You weren't the firstborn. Yeah.
I'm the youngest. Go ahead, though. Sorry, Carlos. I had to be in
all
there.
Good.
So you're the little brother.
If I shovel the shit, I also have to take it.
A grown ass man, that's a little brother, sure.
Yeah. So you weren't the firstborn.
No.
You come from a Latin mother.
Yes, sir.
See, now we're back on track.
See.
When you when you go to talk to your mom, you and your older brother go to talk to your mom about, we're gonna make music for a living. What did she say?
I wish I could show you a fucking video of my mom mocking me and my brother, dude. I swear, because there's literally videos of her that I have with backward hats on, going motherfucker, 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 motherfucker. Like that's hip hop to my mom, right? So, man, I don't know. I mean, I think by the time it really was kind of more realistic with me, Panic laid a lot of that groundwork down. He probably got the worst end of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I remember early on records, and I guess you got to ask him, but I think he was trying to become a DJ, right? Because he was putting records on my dad's record player and like fucking on my dad's needles. And my dad was like getting mad as fuck. I remember that constantly. Yeah. So like, I think he would have to like go buy new needles.
Kicked out of the house.
Well, he was pretty young. He was like 13, so he wasn't getting kicked out the house age. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I think, and later on, I guess when it became more of a reality. But you know what? I think it was kind of like a because I remember my parents definitely supported it. Because my pops would take them to the record stores, man. He'd take them to buy I remember going to records, I don't know, fucking electronic stores, whatever the hell was selling equipment at that time. Like we were going to those stores and like Panic's like playing with like drum machines and shit. And I was like, yo, what the hell is this? And he'd show me and I'm like, yo, this is bananas. Like, what is this thing right here? Like I'm a little ass kid. It's like the 80s and he's like touching pads and playing drums on them. So I remember him taking them to go like look at those things, and then a couple years later, like actually buying machines and shit. So they were pretty supportive and like at the same time talk mad shit to him. You know what I'm saying? So like it was kind of funny to be part of that. And I think by the time it got to me, like my rapper, like he's gonna rap, and now my dad, like that's what he literally calls me. He's like my baby boy and my rapper. It's hilarious, dude. My pops is like, yeah, my pops is a hilarious dude, man. So yeah, he calls me his rapper, and he says I love my rapper. Like my dad's actually my Facebook friend, and he goes and posts on my statuses, and he says I love my rapper. So just to give you an idea of like support that I get now, man. So and I probably was embarrassed at first. Now I'm like, you know what? I rock with this shit. That's my pops, man. He says he loves his rapper. Fuck it, man. That's what that's him.
That's him supporting.
So I'm kind of yeah, no doubt. It was a little bit of a struggle, man. But I think for the most part, at least for me, man, they've been pretty supportive of it. They rock with it.
Mom and dad, are they big into music? Was it a musical household?
God, yes, man. I mean, I don't want to speak for Panic, man, but for me, definitely, like, I think my mom, like, just playing music all the time, constantly in the house was so important to me because, I mean, it was everything from, like, salsa to top 40 hits, like Casey Kasem, whatever was hot in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So it was like Bruce Springsteen to like, the Beatles to Stevie Wonder. And then Michael Jackson, though, that was gigantic in my life, was Michael Jackson. To me, it was all about, Michael Jackson when I was a kid, man. And he was huge. My mom loved Michael Jackson. She always played Michael Jackson. She was buying records because I was telling her, like, we got to have this new Michael record, Mom. She's like, you know what? You're right. We do got to have this new Michael record. So I remember her getting them and like, yeah, man, it was so dope. To like, relationship with my mom, like, yo, we got to cop this new Michael. Like, it was dope, man. So
then you guys would end up at Venture is there picking up the record.
Right. Go Black, whoever had it.
Go Black.
And of course, man, I tried to, I had to sneak in my my pleather, Michael Jackson jacket with the zippers, man. I had to get a couple of those joints, So we were broke, man. We couldn't afford the real joints. So I had to get the pleather. It was probably like $10, you know what I'm saying? But I had a couple of those, man. I was a huge Michael fan. That was definitely a major impact in my life, man. But music in general was big, man. Definitely, it was big in my crib, man. Like a lot of music was being played, so definitely big.
That's dope. And talk a little bit about like your favorite album that you recorded. You mentioned Hello Hip Hop as being one of your favorite projects. What else? Maybe maybe a mixtape, community service. I don't know.
Yeah. I got two, man. One is Working Class Legend. And the reason I really love that album, it was my second album that was like on a professional level where, I went in a studio and was really grinding it out, man. I had a couple dope features I'm happy with. I really worked on that album a lot. And it was just important for me in life in general, that album, because it was a point in my life where I was really sick of like and like having a job and like struggling with that. I really wanted to like just be an artist full time, but I didn't see it happening. It was just so difficult. Music was just so far. It wasn't enough, and it wasn't often enough. It was far and in between. It seemed realistic to me. So I started writing this album like at work. I remember I was working at Home Depot at the time. I was a night manager. So I was working like 10 p.m. to like 7 a.m., right?
Wow.
Am I ever going to be a rapper like with a fucking job 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.? So I was mad. So whenever I had moments, and I had my headphones and in my ear, and the dope thing was that I was managing, so I was the boss. So like I'm like, man, I'm writing raps. Like, leave me alone. I'm in the office writing raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys get the shit done. I'm over here writing raps. Like, get it a little bit, man. Make sure everything was going on right. You know what I'm saying? Help the guys a little bit, get back in so they wouldn't hate my fucking guts. I had to help them out a little bit, then get back in and write my motherfucking raps. So I was working on that album, while I was at work, doing songs that I was just really happy with. I was saying what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it, at the quality that I wanted to be at. Everything was just so great to me, man. And that's just definitely like the meaning behind it and the impact that it had in my life in general. It was so big to me, man, because shortly after that is when, I kind of like went from being a full-time management at Home Depot to like, stepping down from that position to part-time to on April Fool's Day. And no joke, it was literally April Fool's Day. It was my last day of work. You know what I'm saying? And everybody thought I was obviously joking. And I'm like taking my apron off and like cutting it and like taking shit out of my locker and like dumping it in the garbage. And they're like, like, this guy is serious about this. And I'm like, this is official. Like, you know what I'm saying? No more 9-to-5 life for me. I'm gonna be a motherfucking rap star and shit, and no, it's funny because I didn't really think that. I didn't really start because, especially if you're really in the game, that especially if you're not like a top, it's on charts, like this shit is a struggle. So don't let this ever be a front for anybody, any rap friends that you have out there. Like, man, motherfuckers need jobs. So don't quit your job, bro. Don't quit your job until you're ready to be a monster, a soldier, or you're ready to starve, which I literally did, man. I mean, I was homeless. I starved, missed meals, and went through a lot of garbage because I made the decisions that I made. And that's just the way the ball bounces, man. But you know what? I couldn't have it any other way, man.
Everything led you here.
Exactly, man. On Midway Radio, y'all. That's what the fuck is up. You know what I'm saying? That's right.
On September 11, 2017, he's reached his pinnacle.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm at my height of my career right now. Right? Y'all crazy. it's that record, and then honestly, man, I have another record that's unreleased right now that I'm really excited to take it probably to the biggest level that I've taken to as far as music and you know, production and videos and everything else that goes with it. So I'm excited to put that out. But I haven't really had too much time to work on it, man, because, you know, I've been doing everything else, man, the teaching, the consulting, the events, and it's taking time for me as an artist, but I'm still here, man. I'm still rocking the mic, man. I don't think I'm letting go of it anytime soon.
Dope. Well, we're getting up against a little bit of time here. Should we move on to a little this or that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, there goes Carlos.
Always on point.
I'll start first.
Sure.
So, classic Moleman production. This or that, How We Chill Part 1 or Part 2?
Oh, wow. Wow, you really put me on the spot with that one. That's tough, man. How We Chill Part 1 or 2, man? Ding. Oh, come on, man. That's that little thing. When that little thing hits, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about right there, man. God, it's tough, but Part 1 is just great. I'm gonna go with 2 though, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 2.
A lot of people love 2 because of the juice thing. It's hard.
That's the UIC Pavilion wearing MC Juice. That's Part 2, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? God, I've listened to that record a million times. But
Part 2 is the juice verse. Part 1 is just Fest.
Yeah. Oh, then it's 2, man. Then it's definitely 2. Yeah, it's definitely 2. Because I love Fest, but man, yeah, JU and Fest together, bouncing off of each other. Give me 2 all day.
Okay.
Hands down.
MC or educator?
Personally?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
No,
what?
You personally.
I think I'm educating, especially right now, this point in my life. It could spit some rhymes, but an MC can't really educate. That's my opinion, though.
Carlos, I think, is trying to talk.
I think Carlos is trying to say, but we can't hear him.
What's going on with Carlos today, guys?
Carlos, what's going on with you?
Carlos, where you at, man?
I'm in Portland right now.
I'm going to Portland.
However,
I'm going to Portland, dude.
Dude, it's dope out here. It's pretty nice.
That legal stuff, is that what got you in La La Land right now?
Maybe. which sets this one up absolutely perfectly. Mole or pozole?
Oh, pozole, man. I love pozole. But I don't know though, man. My mom's mole is fire, her pozole is fire. It's just it's a different thing. It's like, how you gonna ask, I think that's a tough one, man. It's like you're asking like, ice cream or cake. It's like very different, but the same.
The mole is tough because there's so many different types of mole, like styles or like flavors of mole.
Strictly thinking my mom. Like, I'm just strictly thinking like, fuck everything else. Like, I'm just thinking my mom shit right now.
Because she's listening.
My mom got
and she said, you better be careful what you say.
Real talk. That woman is probably listening. Is there comments on this post right now from Juanita Tapia? Because that's my mom. Like, she's probably on this shit. She's on this shit right now.
She says she can. Her moonwalk is better than yours.
Low key, it probably really is, man. That woman can move, so she probably got a dope moonwalk than me. I'm gonna go with pozole on that one, though, man. That's nice. What I'm gonna rock with.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to another edition of Midway Radio. And thank you for taking the time. I know you were kind of like you're busy. You got a lot going on between music and education, so we do thank you for being a part of this tonight and being a part of Midway as a whole, the film and everything.
Yeah,
I gotta finish, but it's
okay.
It's coming.
I dig that. That's pretty fresh, man. I'm gonna need that, man. Send me that. I'm gonna need that once it's done. That's dope. That's very dope. So I appreciate that.
Our guests don't get a swag bag. They get some swag illustrations from.
They get a sketch. Okay,
Swag Illa.
dig it.
Illa swag.
Swag
But no,
still.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for taking the time to goof off with us tonight, man. It was well appreciated.
Yes, son.
No doubt, man. Always fun with you fellas, man. Always fun.
I'm going to close by once again saying that if anybody wants to support Midway, for first and foremost, please share anything that we got on social media. That's the one of the best things that anybody can do is help just spread the word. So follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Midway Doc. And go to the website, midwaydocumentary.com, to see all the other stuff. You can support us financially if you would like on patreon.com/midwaydoc. That's patreon.com/midwaydoc. And we got some t-shirts up there too. So you can check out midwaydoc.threadless.com. It's all out there for you kind folks at home watching us. Visual, man. Oh, and I also got to send a shout out to our sponsor, which is Shure Microphones, and because they're dope enough to provide us with some. See, I'm trying to be serious. And I'm trying to give some love to a sponsor here. We got that happening.
The incredible Chad.
Yeah. Shout out to Shure for providing us with some microphones from their Motive line for our podcast and stuff. And Visual, man, if people are looking for more information on you and anything that you're involved in, man, where can they go to check that stuff out?
Man, go to iseeitall.com or social media. All of it is I See It All. Also, Hello Hip Hop is hellohiphop.net. You could email us at info@hellohiphop.net if you need help with consulting or anything in that nature, music business, artist development. Yeah. And make sure you get your Midway shirts. I need a hoodie, man. Can I get like a smooth discount on that hoodie? Like, what is it? $40 for that hoodie? Is it 40 or is it like 45? What is that? I'm asking motherfucker. That's me fucking Chicago up on that, man. Can I pay $40?
Well, for the record, we don't own any of the merchandise through Threadless. You can order it through Threadless, though.
Oh, it's on demand printing. Okay, I fuck with the movement. I fuck with that.
We have no
I
money.
dig that. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we don't.
man. I'm gonna have to hit that up then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put in a promo code Ryan Brockmeyer in there and see if that works for me.
There you go.
He's like, try it. He's like, try that shit.
Let me know if that works.
That shit might charge you twice.
And be like, sir, your invoice is due. I'm like, oh no. That's tough.
Risky.
Fellas, man, thank you for having me, gentlemen. You guys have a great night. Listening in, man. Appreciate y'all listening in. Hope you guys got something dope out of it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, man, sorry. See, look at that. Alarms going off. You know shit is real. You know people got shit to do when they got alarms going off. That is my alarm for saying, get the podcast.
It is 9 o'clock Chicago time, and he is stepping to another project. He just doesn't quit.
Sir,
That's how we do, son.
Peace.
Hashtag hustle.
Peace, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you guys to everybody watching. Shout out to Hammurabi and shout out to Hispanic. Moman, listening.
Panic had Mood Swings, had J Norm 606 checking in, Prime, BVAX. Yeah.
Nice. Guys, once again, thank you. And we will see you what next week? What do we got next week?
Next week, let me check the calendar. Because for whatever reason, Griffin is next week.
The Immortal Griffin. Holy
Immortal
fuck, that one's gonna be funny.
Griffin. So
do we have to check it? Do we have to check our safety belts for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna be hysterical.
Yes.
I promise you it'll be funny.
Oh boy.
Anyway, fellas, it's been a hoot as always.
Who the fuck says that? Who?
That was the reaction that I was looking for.
The fuck?
I had a hoot.
Fuck you and your hoot. Fuck you.
I give a hoot.
Motherfucker.
I don't pollute.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
All right, guys. Till next week with Griffin, man. Follow us, Midway Doc, on your socials, and we will check you next week. Peace.
Later, y'all.